Passover's coming tomorrow night. And I'm hosting a couple of Seders, actually, as is my namesake. And I also I have a little confession to make. I keep Passover. I don't have bread. I don't have yeast. I follow all of the rules except for when it comes to wine, because I cannot drink the Manischewitz, and it is not tasty. And so I've made myself a special dispensation on Passover to actually have high quality wine, and I know exactly where my wine's coming from this year. Naked Wines. They provided all the wine for my Thanksgiving meal last fall. That was, and what Naked Wines is a wine club that directly connects you to the world's best independent winemakers, so you can get world-class wine delivered straight to your door. You can use our code majority and for the code and the password at nakedwines.com and get $100 off your first order. That's 6 bottles of wine for just $39.99. I've enjoyed a Petite Syrah on, did I say that right? Mm-hmm. On from Naked Wines, and some and a Pinot Noir. There's a whole bunch of reds that I've had from Naked Wine that I love. I'm not a big white wine drinker, but they got great white wines as well. And of course, all of these wines were approved by my sister, which is a big deal because she is a big wine snob. She worked in that business for a while. And the key to this is that Naked Wines brings you these high quality wines at a fraction of the cost because they go straight from the winery, and they save you up to 60% less than what you would pay in a store. They cut out extra costs like middleman markups. Winemakers can pass those savings on to you without skimping on quality. For me, it makes it really easy because I don't know. I'm not a huge wine connoisseur, as it were. So I don't have to go into the wine store and pretend like I know what I'm talking about and like ask about the body and et cetera, et cetera. Instead, I know that Naked Wines has great wines, and it makes it much easier for me. They've been around for over 15 years. They back 90 independent winemakers around the world to make the wine you love to drink. Get the best wine at the best price with Naked Wines. Now's the time to join the Naked Wines community. Head to nakedwines.com/majority. Click Enter Voucher and put in our code majority for both the code and the password for $100 off your first order. That's 6 bottles of wine for $39.99 with shipping included. That's $100 off your first 6 bottles at nakedwines.com/majority. Use the code and the password majority for 6 bottles of wine for $39.99. We will put that info in the podcast and YouTube descriptions and at majority.fm. And now time for the show.
The Majority Report with Sam Seder.
The destiny of America is always safer in the hands of the people than in the conference rooms of any elite.
Sam Seder.
They are unanimous in their hate for me, and I welcome their hatred.
We must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
The Majority Report with Sam Seder.
And I get the feeling you've been cheated.
It is Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. My name is Sam Seder. This is the 5-time award-winning Majority Report. We are broadcasting live steps from the industrially ravaged Gowanus Canal in the heartland of America, downtown Brooklyn, USA. On the program today, Trump supposedly willing to give up on the Strait of Hormuz. On the other hand, thousands more U.S. paratroopers enter the region. Israel makes it clear they have plans to occupy southern Lebanon. U.S. Supreme Court rules against Colorado ban on gay conversion therapy for kids. Pete Hegseth's broker was looking into defense investments on the eve of the Iran war. Fortunately for him, he couldn't buy the ones he wanted to because they're down 12%. Israel passes a death penalty law that de facto targets Palestinians only. Small Business Association no longer will provide loans to legal immigrant non-citizens in this country because we want them to be hardworking and contribute to society. Trump revoking Endangered Species Act for drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe not coincidentally, Trump's approval at a new low. Washington State adopts a new tax on income over $1 million annually. And Zohran Mamdani announces free childcare for city workers. All this and more on today's Majority Report. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is
Newsday Tuesday.
You all right? You seem like you're...
Yeah, I'm okay. I just have a little bit of a lump in my throat for a sec. Something caught in my throat. But I thought I still got the words out.
You did, but you look like you were struggling.
That you were made obsolete by our own creation.
Indeed.
Indeed, you did.
So I'm blackout Alex Jones in that scenario?
It's just, it's really more of the subtext. It's more the subtext.
Off to a good start.
We'll get into this stuff about the war. Increasingly, and we'll talk more about this in a moment, but increasingly, I think this weekend is going to be is going to mark either the end or just the beginning for this. I mean, I think it's probably the die is already cast, I suspect, but we'll talk more about that in a moment. In the meantime, the Supreme Court, in an 8-1 vote, or decision, I should say, has struck down a Colorado law, one of about 21, I think, in 21 states around the country, that banned conversion therapy. This is it's not a therapy.
It's child abuse.
It is child abuse in the form of therapy. It's all obviously religious based, and the state of Colorado in 2019 banned licensed mental health professionals. I also just, I am having trouble fully understanding this case, and certainly why Kagan and I can't remember, Sotomayor voted in favor of this. Ostensibly, it's a First Amendment case, but it banned licensed mental health professionals from practicing conversion therapy, which is something like, this is actually a clip from one of the early conversion therapies. I kid you not. They did this goes all the way back to the aughts when this was becoming very big, where you teach kids, in this case, it's an adult, but where you teach kids that if they think they're gay, what they need to do is actively suppress those ideas so they can butch up. And the data is pretty clear on this. Youth who are subjected to conversion therapy are more than twice as likely to attempt suicide than their peers because it's abuse. This sounds funny.
Mom!
This is a
Mom!
grown adult.
Why
did you do that to me?
Taking a tennis racket and smacking it on a couch. The progenitors of conversion, gay conversion therapy, not necessarily for children, but for adults, were, I think, a couple of referred to themselves as ex-gays. They ultimately became ex-gays as they realized, like, I'm gay and I'm not going to be able to not be gay, and then renounced what they had started in like ex-gay groups, essentially.
Pretty unconscionable how Kagan and Sotomayor ruled here. Ketanji Brown Jackson is the lone dissent. This is basically, when you see this in conjunction with the revocation of people's gender identity on certain government documents, when you see things like how in federal prisons, the Trump administration is already kind of banning gender affirming care, which basically forces trans inmates to convert back or pushes them back into dysphoria, also really endangers them in certain prisons. And the efforts to ban trans people from public spaces, this is just a larger effort to use the power of the state to force people into the closet, whether they're trans, gay, non-binary, bi, what have you. So for all this talk about how the moral arc of history bends towards justice, it's actually completely false. You have to be vigilant all the time to protect people's rights. Trans people and gay people are obviously interlinked. This is evidenced by this case. And the people that thought that we could throw trans people under the bus on our way to some sort of, I don't know, vaguely defined electoral victory have blood on their hands with this kind of decision. Literally, more kids are going to die, more adults are going to die. They are being erased in our public spaces, and they're going to. This is going to hurt people's mental health indelibly.
And it should be clear here, because someone's writing this on IM. The court basically found, because the plaintiff was not actually practicing conversion therapy. The court simply found that the statute written in Colorado was too broad and theoretically prevented this non-conversion therapy therapist, who is a Christian therapist, from supposedly just talking about conversion or not being gay. So there's a lot of room here. I will also add, so it's going back down to the lower court. So we'll see from there. We'll also add that you can, it's basically just narrowing what the state can regulate in terms of conversion therapy. Now, ultimately, I have a feeling they're going to go for the full hog. You can also continue to sue one of these conversion therapists for fraud.
But why are conversion therapists allowed to practice conversion therapy under a medical license if we have all of the guidelines from these medical associations showing conversion therapy as torture?
I mean, it's
absurd.
Why wouldn't you be able to just sort of like be licensed to, I don't know.
It's like alternative medicine.
It is alternative medicine. Yeah. I mean, and like the alternative medicine during COVID, it's going to result in people dying. This is where the state should have a heavier hand here. This libertarian healthcare bent is killing people.
But
and I
the
know
amazing
it's not,
thing is that
I know
any
it's
of the
Christian
justification,
nationalism.
any justification of limiting affirming healthcare, like it seems like you're on both sides of that issue as the Supreme Court.
Right.
Here. States can't provide gender affirming health care, but they can, or they're incapable of preventing, what is some other form of like essentially of conversion therapy. I mean, it's fascinating.
It's abuse. So some of these healthcare practitioners can abuse people and children too in some of these instances, but they can't provide them with the care that they need. So.
We're gonna be talking. We will follow up on this case as we go further today, or I should say tomorrow. There's going to be oral arguments on naturalized citizens, whether this obvious part of the Constitution is invalid because we don't like immigrants anymore. Essentially, I guess is the nature of the case. So we'll have somebody on to talk about both of those cases. And I believe there's one or two other rulings the Supreme Court's going to issue today. All of their cases that they've heard this year will be issued or the results will be issued within the next really 2.5 months or so. So we'll have somebody on soon to talk about that, a legal expert. In the meantime, a couple of words from our sponsors before we talk about the latest in Iran. And again, I think we are a couple of days away from finding out if we're going to actually put boots on the ground, as it were. Today's sponsor is Babbel. Why do most of us want to learn a new language? Well, it's not about memorizing grammar or tables or topping some type of leaderboard. It's because we want to speak it. We want to speak it out in the real world with real people, and Babbel gets you there fast. For me, estoy tratando de convencer a mi hijo de que podríamos hablar en español. I want Saul and I to be able to talk in Spanish. And I'm like, dude, it'll be cool. And it really hasn't inspired him. I'm like, you don't understand. You got to do this when you're, exactly. You got to do this when you're a kid. But Babbel makes it easy. Even if you're an adult, learning a language with Babbel is all about small steps and big wins. Progress you can actually track and feel. Just 10 minutes a day is enough to start seeing real results. Their bite-sized lessons fit easily into your daily routine. They're also easy to remember. Babbel recognizes that real-world connections are at the heart of learning language. Their courses are designed by over 200 language experts. They are real human beings to teach you words and phrases that you're actually going to use so you can start speaking with confidence in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel lets you practice real-life conversations step by step without the stress. You'll build the confidence to speak up when it matters. Obviously, the news has been coming very quickly. It's like drinking from a fire hose. But when I have time, I will dedicate 10. Sometimes I'll do 2 lessons just on my walk to work. Super easy. However you learn best, by listening, speaking, reading, or writing, Babbel adapts to your style and keeps you motivated with personalized learning plans, real-time feedback, and progress tracking. You can make fast, lasting progress with Babbel, the science-backed language learning app that actually works. And every course comes with a 14-day money-back guarantee. And here's a special. It's limited time. It's a deal for you. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/majority. That's 60% off babbel.com/majority, spelled BABBEL.com/majority. Rules and restrictions may apply. Tim Polylyricist says, I've been learning Spanish for over a year now with the help of Babbel and others. I can converse with native speakers a bit, but still cannot get a word of what Sam says. You know, my problem is like when I start to speak Spanish, I do it with a Massachusetts accent. I realize that now. Also sponsoring the program today, Select Quote. Obviously, a lot of things to be a little bit nervous and anxious about these days. Many people hunkering down, saving, and looking for ways to protect our futures. You've heard of life insurance. You know you should get some. Maybe it's for the sake of your siblings or your partner or your kids. Maybe you think it's too expensive. Maybe you think it's too complicated to get. Well, the bottom line is the younger you are, the cheaper your life insurance. And there's a very easy and way in which you can have a lot of confidence about what you get. And that is with Select Quote. If you're new to life insurance, you're not alone. For over 40 years, Select Quote has helped more than 2 million Americans understand their options and get the coverage they need. And as a broker, their mission is simple. It is to find you the right insurance policy at the best price. Believe me, I have been in this situation 20 years ago. When my daughter was born, I knew I need to get a life insurance. I need to get life insurance. And it was too intimidating. And, fortunately, after a couple of years, I was like, I got to do this. I jump in. Select Quote, I wish I had known about it. It would make it much, much easier. And the bottom line is you don't want to put this off. The relief you will feel. And the beauty about Select Quote is it takes the guesswork out of finding the right life insurance policy. You don't have to sort through dozens of confusing options. Instead, one of their licensed agents is going to find you the right policy at the right price for you, comparing plans from trusted, top-rated insurance companies to find a policy that fits your health, your lifestyle, your budget. And here's the best part. They work for you for free. You'll be covered faster than you think. Select Quote works with providers who offer same-day coverage, up to $2 million worth with no medical exam required. And you're not out of luck if you have a pre-existing health conditions, because Select Quote partners with companies that offer people policies who have conditions like high blood pressure or diabetes or heart disease. Select Quote makes life insurance simple, even if it's your first time thinking about it. Head to selectquote.com/majority. A licensed insurance agent will call you right away with the right policy for your life and your budget. For me, I got term policies. One for when Milo was born for 30 years, and then one when Saul was born for 20 years. So I'm locked up through their college. Life insurance is never cheaper than it is today. Get the right life insurance for you for less and save more than 50% at selectquote.com/majority. Save more than 50% on term life insurance at selectquote.com/majority today to get started. That's selectquote.com/majority. They shop, you save. We'll put the links in the podcast and YouTube description. Right now, there are thousands of paratroopers either in the region or probably a day or two away from Iran. There is a story in the in the Wall Street Journal that supposedly, and I'm very skeptical of this, Trump has told aides that he's willing to end the U.S. military campaign against Iran, even if the Strait of Hormuz remains largely closed.
So your skepticism is in which direction? Is this another ruse to get the Iranians to drop their guard so that we can bomb them? Or are you seeing this as him actually trying to get an off-ramp here because he's supposedly bored with his criminal war in Iran after we killed
I think
hundreds of people?
I think it would be more I don't think Iran is going to stand down. I think they're not going to believe anything. I think it could be the latter. I think this could be, Trump floating a test balloon and seeing who's going to come out and say, dude, you're going to look like a coward if you cut and run. But I suspect it's more about trying to get the stock market back up, keep it up,
One more good week for it.
Into the weekend. It is a 4-day weekend, I think it is, in terms of the stock market. At least the 3, right? Because you got Easter coming.
Yep.
And I suspect if we're going to do a ground invasion, it's going to happen over the weekend. And it could be just, Trump thinks like, okay, all we need to do is go and take Carg Island. We'll take Carg Island and then we're done.
Cool.
And whatever that means, which sounds...
We're not going to take Carg Island. I mean, look, I would be surprised if we can take that island because you'll get a bunch of troops killed. They'll be sitting ducks. I don't understand that claim. We'll blow it to smithereens, maybe.
But listen to how childish all of this is. He wants to go in and take the oil wherever we're going. And like you said about Venezuela, so people are going to have a little ladle in the town square and put it into their cars. The report from yesterday that he wants U.S. troops to go in and steal the uranium. Oh, cool. Like just put it in some backpacks?
Oh, no.
And head out?
This is the way you do it.
Yeah.
And now he just has this... yeah.
You just got to play the right music.
Play the right music. He has this old school view of like, we'll take Carg Island because that will be some sort of visual victory for him, regardless of the fact that he's probably changed the global economy indelibly for the rest of time. So
Trump's desire to end the war quickly is at odds with other moves he's planning to make. This weekend, the USS Tripoli and the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit entered the region. Trump has also ordered elements of the 82nd Airborne and is considering sending another 10,000 ground troops to the Middle East. It's unclear to me whether or not they are actually there. There's other reporting that says thousands of U.S. Army paratroopers arrive in the Middle East as the buildup intensifies. This story says that thousands of soldiers from the U.S. Army Elite 82nd Airborne arrived in the Middle East on Monday. So, it is unclear. There's a lot of different stories that are being floated out there.
But I do think the theory about this happening over the weekend is probably the most salient because it fits with everything that we've seen in terms of the patterns of how Trump has operated in this conflict. He's obsessed with the way that the market is responding, and he likes to... You have Christian nationalists like Pete Hegseth leading this operation, where I can guarantee you that they're going to have some sort of goofy-ass Christian nationalist, Easter-themed operational name for their invasion if it happens over the weekend.
Operation Find the Egg.
Yeah.
Here is Pete Hegseth. Should we start with 5? Let's start with 4. Here he is, where he's talking about. Here's Hegseth talking about how
the troops want to die.
How romantic
for this. Yes.
this endeavor is, and how they're chomping at the bit.
I did the same with his boss, a colonel with a heart the size of Texas and a beautiful deployment mustache to match.
Nice.
I witnessed lethality. I met a junior airman as the sun was going down and a chill was setting on the tarmac, who, when asked what they needed, she simply looked up at me with a sly smile on her face.
Because I'm taller than her.
More bombs, sir, and bigger bombs. We will happily oblige her.
I
did the same with his...
Accidentally in love. That's the rom-com happening for war crimes.
Supposedly, according to the AP, Gulf allies of the United States, including Saudi Arabia and the UAE, are urging Trump to continue prosecuting the war against Iran, arguing that Tehran has not been weakened enough by the month-long U.S.-led bombing campaign. You don't see any stories of Israel encouraging Trump to continue to bomb Iran. I suspect that they are. It would be odd if they weren't. They're certainly also attacking Iran and specifically their infrastructure in such a way that Israel, of course, would love to debilitate Iran moving forward. we no longer talk about, freeing the Iranian people. You don't hear as much. I mean, that's sort of.
Well, these are the objectives, right? Regime change. No, regime's still intact, although Trump says we did do regime change because we killed the dad.
Who was going to die pretty soon anyway.
Yeah.
He killed an 86-year-old man.
Right. Then did the Iranian people take to the streets like we were told? No. I mean, they're killing some protesters, but not like because of the bombing campaign. They're not saying, yay, go Israel. Also, did we destroy their nuclear program that we already supposedly destroyed?
Well, we're about to.
Or the Strait of Hormuz, when we take it. That's not under our control. So none of the objectives that he threw out there have been achieved.
And I think the thing that we have to sort of contemplate is the idea that there are people who are encouraging Trump to do this, and there are people who are trying to discourage Trump from doing this. I think for many people who are in that, milieu, there's also this, well, you've already broken it. It's already broken. Iran is now going to charge a tax on the Strait of Hormuz that is going to keep oil up at a certain price. And unfortunately, if the difference between oil being over $100 a barrel now for producers is that for those who are able to produce and get their oil to the market, it's all just profit. If the oil coming out of the Strait of Hormuz actually ends up basically providing a tax, it's going to inhibit other regions of the world. And I imagine I don't know if it's going to have the same sort of inflationary push on all of the oil sales. It's unclear. But with that said, Trump may be buying the story that, look, you drop 2,500 paratroopers on Karg Island, you secure it, you'll have shut down Iran's capacity to sell their own oil, which I've seen arguments that they can sell 80% of their oil through other means. They don't need Karg Island in the same way. It'll be more expensive and more difficult, but they'll still be able to do it.
They'll just turn off the pipe that pumps it to Karg Island.
And the idea of once Trump commits to any boots on the ground in Karg Island, if you are in favor of this war just continuing, maybe you're like a guy like Scott Bessent who has high stakes in LNG. Maybe you are a guy like Pete Hegseth who is this is my moment to shine. Maybe you are Lindsey Graham and just a general neocon psychopath. Maybe you're Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Maybe you're Israel. You know that the way you do this is not by getting Trump to commit to a 15-year-long war. You get him to commit to baby steps that make it that much harder for him to dig himself out, because that's where we are today.
Yeah,
right?
and the Karg Island thing, I mean, the U.S. media is complicit right now in covering up the damage, both that Iran inflicted in terms of hitting Israeli sites, it appears, but also this major thing where they destroyed this U.S. aircraft on the Saudi base, which is going to cost $700 million to replace. And this is a radar aircraft that helps them monitor the airspace in the area. So we now, there's no replacement for that coming around. And now Trump wants to put U.S. troops as sitting ducks on Karg Island right off the coast of Iran when we don't necessarily have the air power to monitor the situation, and they have drones that are cheap as hell that can go up and shoot down anything. It is so deeply disrespectful to the men and women that are in the service. It's just unbelievable, because they are setting themselves up to really be killed and hurt here.
Here's Hegseth. Again, all of these things, all of these statements could sort of cut either way. Trump sending paratroopers to Karg Island and then saying okay, we're done now, maybe that's what he thinks he can do if he gets the other countries to do as Pete Hegseth is calling. I mean, like, it doesn't sound like a lot of that anybody's willing to be the first country to join the United States in this sort of like quagmire.
I think the president was clear this morning in his truth that there are countries around the world who ought to be prepared to step up on this critical waterway as well. It's not just the United States Navy.
Why?
Last time I checked, there was supposed to be a big bad Royal Navy that could be prepared to do things like that as well. So he's pointing out this is an international waterway that we use less than most, in fact, dramatically less than most. So the world ought to pay attention and be prepared to stand up. President Trump's been willing to do the heavy lifting on behalf of the free world to address this threat of Iran. It's not just our
Can you pause it? I'm
even though
sorry.
We have done the lion's
well, I guess we have a second. Keep going.
preparation to ensure that that strait will be open, which is an outcome the president's been very clear on.
Want to give us a timeline on that?
So we did this war in Iran out of love for our friends in Europe, apparently, because we don't really use the strait that much. So when we started on behalf, with on Israel's behalf as well, started this war against Iran, we were doing it not because it was in the Israeli interests or because Trump was high on his own supply after Venezuela. We did it for you, Europe, and we didn't consult you on it. But now you still should commit your troops to help the U.S. Navy, which is supposedly so powerful that it can do it alone. We're the decider. Trump alone will decide how this war ends. But also, please, Europe, can you help us out? Can you help us out? And can you send your troops in first so we don't face the political blowback for the war that we started when U.S. troops get killed? It's insane. It's insane.
It now actually occurs to me that the reason why Trump is leaking this thing about the Strait of Hormuz is probably to try and convince Europeans to jump in. He can say I don't really care. It will raise the price of oil. It will create a floor essentially for oil because it's adding a fixed cost to every barrel that leaves the Strait of Hormuz. And that, of course, will raise the price of oil everywhere. It might make it easier, in my estimation, for, President AOC in 2029 to encourage a return to and more support for sustainable energy because of the price of oil. So
the green Trump deal.
That's what I'm doing. I just don't see the Europeans. I just don't see anybody else coming into this situation. I've started to read. I think Tooze had something. Adam Tooze had something about like here are 5 steps that China can do to ascend essentially to the world leader.
That's what this should be about.
Thing.
Everyone is mad at us. Literally, our partners in the Gulf, Europe, and Iran. They should all work together and
Europe
cut us out. And say that as American is pretty weird to say. We're the problem. Y'all should figure it out and work diplomacy without us. And because this is ridiculous.
Just like Taylor Swift said.
Hey, enough. But I'm very skeptical about, like, in the Western press, these Gulf states saying, we're behind you, President Trump. This is what we're in favor of. Because I don't think they want this level of instability.
Well,
right now.
their problem now is you started this, and if Trump leaves, you've put Iran in a much stronger position than they were before the start of the war.
It's Saudi Arabia. It's Saudi Arabia is going to be paying those, it's their
taxes
ship
to Iran.
Yes.
Thanks for that war.
Right. But the Europeans, they're gonna probably now be engaging in direct talks with the Iranians at this point. Like, this is strength. One, Russia and China are the 2 biggest beneficiaries of what has happened here, with both Russia and Putin jacking up oil prices because there's this scarcity, so he's been selling it at a premium. In addition to the U.S. Seemingly maybe taking away military resources from Ukraine for this war in Iran, so Putin's loving it. China just has to sit back and have them look like the more stable partner, be the more stable partner. And Europe is going to say, perhaps this military alliance with this belligerent superpower has outlived its usefulness. The economy of the world is moving beyond us, and China is now has advanced in green energy, advanced in AI, advanced in their infrastructure. This is the kind of technology they should be buying from as well.
Yeah, the problem though that you're not thinking about is China has to go back to all of their like 5-year and 10-year plans and white out the number 5 and 10 and 20 and then make it more like 2,
3
and 4 and I mean it really is inexplicable as to what motivated Trump to do this. And I don't think that we can discount stupidity and as a reason. There's a lot of other reasons. Here's Pete Hegseth just to close the loop. This is number 6.
6, yeah.
Here's Pete Hegseth just finishing up the briefing as you would. It's a Pentagon briefing, and so this is the way that you basically end these things when you are engaged in a jihad or I guess
holy war.
Yeah, holy war.
Standing here this morning in this briefing room, in my mind's eye, I'm actually looking out at the groups I met this weekend. The pilots, the logisticians, the intel analysts, the targeters, the sustainers, the flight crews, the air defenders, the base security, those maintainers who we walked up at sunset with the chill in the air on the flight line. May God watch over all of them, each day and each night. May his almighty and eternal arms of providence stretch over them and protect them and bring them peace. In the name of Jesus Christ. And amen. Mr. Chairman.
I feel like what we're missing is him taking a cross out of a fire and brandishing maybe somebody in the, like anointing somebody through the blood of Christ in the Pentagon pool room.
May Jesus Christ protect our men and women that we're sending to the Middle East to fight for Israel. In Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Yes, there we go.
Oh, and then, I mean, they're not just killing for Israel. They're also killing for oil.
Yeah.
Oh, and missile companies.
Oh.
Lockheed Martin's doing great.
And because Trump wants to look tough in front of Xi Jinping in May.
I mean, honestly, it's... I don't know that we'll ever know the reality of like what it was. With Iraq, I just remember when, oh gosh, I forgot his name now. One of the neocons, Wolfowitz, said in front of the Senate, weapons of mass destruction was the thing we could all agree on. But they all had their own set of reasons. Cheney obviously, believed that I think controlling the oil out of there would be both profitable and a way to minimize China's ascent. That didn't work out so well. And I think, the Feith and Pearl thought like, oh, this is going to be a great opportunity to impose a free market democracy on the area, and there were others, I'm sure, who thought like, oh, once we take out Iraq, then we go to Syria, then we go to Iran, and Israel will be free to do as it pleases in the area, and finally, get rid of the Palestinian people without any hindrances. I mean, there is a whole set. Oh, and I think for George W. Bush, it was all that. And I'm going to avenge my daddy. I'm going to do what my daddy didn't do.
I mean, there's another way that we could have been competitive with China instead of pouring billions and billions of dollars into weapons manufacturers. We could have chosen to reorient our economy in a way that made us competitive technologically and not have all of the value go to speculators and to investors, but it could have gone into like the actual industries, and we could have been advanced. But
what, you don't like betting in NFTs? And
put on
AI?
Number 9 here. I mean, I think like this is the thing. It's one thing for you to say that, But I mean, look at Iran, for instance.
Yes. Can you imagine?
This kind of projection.
And at the end of the day, I think that if there are people in Iran who now, given everything that's happened, are willing to move in a different direction for their country, that would be great. Imagine in Iran that instead of spending their wealth, billions of dollars supporting terrorists or weapons, had spent that money helping the people of Iran, you'd have a much different country. So we are always hopeful that that would exist over there.
I just don't know how those words come out of your mouth. They're literally talking about more cuts to Medicaid to support this war. We have just kicked millions of people off of Medicaid to add to the millions who don't have health care coverage. The entire premise, fake premise of his campaign was like America First, which ostensibly, I think many of them took to heart, meaning, oh, you mean white people, uber alles, instead of like, maybe we should take care of our people before we start going on these excursions.
I mean, Iran's.
But how does he say this without like going like?
I think I think this is like we can't even probably fathom the amount of projection in the conservative mind. Like, I mean, I don't. It's absolutely insane. Iran probably is thinking, no, we should have spent way more money on defense. Like, I saw Trita Parsi was interviewed by CNN, and he said that the fatwa, the religious edict that prevented the construction of a nuclear weapon, it's dead. There's no consensus for it anymore within the Iranian government. Why would there be? They've been bombed by two nuclear armed nations, the U.S. and its attack dog colony, Israel, and even when they were abiding by the nuclear agreement, they see that nuclear agreement as like, oh, we were suckers for doing good faith negotiations with the Americans. And then Trump, in his first term, assassinates Qasem Soleimani out of nowhere. And then I remember going to No War with Iran protests then, like in 2017, 2018. And at that time, I was like, oh God, we staved that off. His lesson from that was we didn't do enough. And you had people in the mainstream press laundering this freak as anti-war because they believed him when he said things like peace through strength, which just means more bombing, and then we can push them into submission. And that's my foreign policy. I mean, it's so Pollyannish. It's so embarrassing.
It's also quite clear that all of those people around Trump, as somewhat sort of like insane as some of them were all mitigating and counterbalances to what he wanted to do. I mean, we read all the reporting. Why can't we use a nuke? Why can't we shoot the protesters?
Right.
I mean, on and on and on. And Rex Tiller, what was it? Tillerson and Mattis and even that scumbag John, his chief of staff. All of these names I've tried to purge from my memory.
Priebus.
Well, Reince Priebus, but after him, the army guy, Irish guy. I can't remember now.
Kelly.
John Kelly.
Oh, wow.
All of them who basically said to Trump, "You can't do this." In the deal that I think like Mattis and Kelly had with each other, where it was like, "We're going to prevent him. You know, if he tries to do this, we're going to stop him." All of the
Hegseth's in charge now.
All of this, all of the reporting that said that these people who were on like one end of the spectrum of like driving us to the brink were the voices of reason. And Trump knew better this time around. I'm only getting the people who will agree with me. There will be no voices in the White House who are going to say, don't do it.
I like to hang out with losers.
Honestly, and that is it. I mean, listen, they're
McMaster and John and Kelly made him feel inadequate.
The reason, Mick Masters is the other one. Exactly.
Sorry,
And the reason why you see billionaires doing stupid stuff is because they've been in a bubble where no one has said no to them, or like, I'm not sure. That doesn't, whatever it is. I don't think that's a good idea. Nobody says no to them. And that's what Trump has built for himself. Nobody around him is saying, this is a bad idea, Mr. President. Nobody. Because that's the way they maintain all of their fiefdoms. The reason why Miller is able to maintain its fiefdom, and we saw that clip of him at that meeting where, like, the stuff about Iran, he was just like, because he's an American firster, right? Like, all of what he's doing, supposedly.
He's a huge Zionist, though. I mean,
he very well may be, but he knows this is going to tank.
He was banging the anti-war drum against Kamala pretty hard.
And he knows this is going to tank, but he's not going to say anything because it's the way that he maintains his portfolio. Nobody steps up and says, don't do this, because they know they'll be cut out. And they're all a bunch of freaking losers. And they got nowhere else to go. Nowhere else to go.
Or they could join Kristi Noem in where is she in the Avenue of the Shield?
The Shield of America.
A Shield of the Americas, yeah.
I like that. That's like Atlantis, basically. Like wherever the hell she is, just send her in a tube out to space.
Well, they're smart about this in that they know they got to give something to people so they don't squeal.
Yeah, special envoy for the Shield of the Americas.
Whoever it is, they jettisoned Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-wife.
Guilfoyle.
Yeah,
golden parachute for you.
Yeah, and remember, if you don't like the golden parachute, we can cut the parachute strings, and you'll fall far and fast. And that's what they're doing. Meanwhile, let's play this clip of Trump.
This is an older clip. I found out this is from January of last year.
What's that? Oh, that
him
is?
Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, yeah. I thought we had seen that. Okay.
Yeah.
I said he's done that before.
Every president has done that, I think.
Of course. But here is Laura Ingraham.
This is interesting because Laura Ingraham, you wonder if Sean Hannity will be with him till the end. But Laura Ingraham has been demoted at Fox News because of the whole "you're getting older, lady" situation. Probably means Trump's less interested in hearing what she has to say as well.
I remember having lunch with you, and you don't look as good as you.
Unlike Dana.
You don't look better. Dana.
But so she's gonna copy paste a lot of what you're hearing from conservative online influencers, even like Tucker Carlson, where he's approaching criticizing Trump very tepidly, but for the most part, they act like Trump has no agency. He's also incredibly powerful, smart, genius, the only person who can decide. But he's also weak enough to be so easily misled by the folks around him. However, it's important that this is happening on Fox News in prime time.
So if we cannot come to some type of peace deal with people who can't be trusted, then what? Well, looks like the U.S. is going to escalate. President Trump is already warning of widespread further damage, threatening to hit electric generating plants, oil wells, and Carg Island, as he's reportedly considering sending ground troops in to secure the uranium. Now, knowing what little time we have and how quickly this can spiral out of control, we still have a lot of questions. For instance, was the president fully briefed about the risks of all of this from the beginning? And was he then able to take it all in and understand the complexity of this, how complex it could actually get, and further possibilities of casualties or other damage, the difficulty of dealing with these people? Or was he told this would be relatively quick in and out? So if we cannot...
All right, so you see what she's setting up there. I mean, she couldn't help herself. Like, maybe he's too dense to understand what was going on. That was sort of the middle one. But what she's also saying is, like, maybe there's an opportunity to find a fall guy.
Bad information.
Oh, yeah.
Bad information.
Remember from last week when Hegseth was thrown under the bus?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's a seed. He said, some people are saying that we should fire you.
A very powerful guy came up to me and really went into you hard. And I said, he's doing a great job.
He's doing a great job. But is he?
But he wouldn't acknowledge that criticism if he wasn't this happened with Kristi Noem, and he started ignoring her at the cabinet meetings, and then 2 months later, what do you know? It would be funny if Laura Ingraham just really hated Pete Hegseth from their time together at Fox News.
That's
and
also
just
very
decided
That
to...
is also very possible. I mean, look, I think it would be hard for someone like Laura Ingraham, who takes herself so seriously. I would not be surprised if she's like, I can't believe this freaking complete wastoid moron is the Secretary of Defense. And she's just waiting. Obviously, you know, she doesn't want to, there's no reason for her to put her neck out for anything at this point, but
she doesn't seem to be moving her neck at all.
Well, there's a
so
lot
frozen.
of I get the sense there has been a lot of injections throughout her face. There's not a lot of movement. Exactly.
Stored in a freezer overnight.
This is Laura Ingraham excited to see somebody. Hey, how are you? God, you look great. Oh my God. Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, it's having such a great time. Oh, God, that's really great. We would be remiss if we don't touch on this. I want to talk about this new law that Israel passed just for a minute. But we should say that we mentioned Kristi Noem. And it's not about kink shaming as much as like a lot of people were wondering. I mean, Kristi Noem's husband came out and was very supportive of her when she was publicly, I think, accused of having an affair with Corey Lewandowski.
He came out?
He spoke out. He spoke out. Right? Will you find that? I'm quite sure he did.
Well, and supported her so much that he said, I'll stay behind in South Dakota and you go off to Washington, D.C. to achieve your dreams.
Yes, but he was also, he was very specific, I think, in like, you know, how dare did he testify?
So it was a surprise appearance behind at the Judiciary Committee earlier this month.
Yeah, put this up. Didn't he say something?
I'm looking for what he said.
He was like, you know, how
he thanked her, calling it a personal privilege to be allowed to be behind her at that hearing.
Do we have any? We don't have any video of that.
He can only be behind her.
I honestly, I don't want to kink shame the guy, but it is quite clear that the support did not go both ways, because somehow a very private photo of Kristi Noem's husband.
Several, actually.
Several have been leaked. And, I mean, honestly, like...
Okay, the nipples on that one are so messed up. Did he get one implant in one and not in the other?
He doesn't seem to feel...
He's wearing something.
Right, I get it, but the nipples are not... aligned. Okay.
He doesn't ever feel the need. There's another one. Doesn't ever feel the need to really line up the nipples.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So.
But here's the point. It is quite clear that...
Like, put it back up.
Why do they show that crop
There's so
shot?
many.
Okay.
He's wearing a crop top?
Well, the point is like, I don't know. I suspect he didn't post these pictures anywhere. I suspect that they were somehow leaked. And I think what we're seeing, this is my speculation. She is done with him now. Like she knows her political career has peaked, as it were. She's got all this cash that she and Corey garnered through all of their dealings. This is my prediction. And I'm going out on a limb, and I don't generally do predictions like this. But they're going to break up because she's going to be so offended by the pictures that she was completely aware of beforehand. And that's the way that their relationship was maintained and why he was okay with her having an affair. Mm-hmm. And then she and Corey are going to get married, and then they can't testify against each other.
Dun, 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 dun,
there you go.
Put
that shit on Polymarket right now.
I like that theory. If they weren't Republicans, we wouldn't make fun of this at all. Like, they could have a lavender marriage and have her own thing outside of it and him do his thing, and they want to raise their kids together. That rocks. But
my guess is the reason that she is responsible for the leaking of this stuff.
Yes, that's the I mean, who else would be sending it to the
predicate.
Daily Mail right after she got fired by Trump?
Yeah, what a coincidence. Or maybe it's Corey because it's love, and he wants to hasten the end of this.
Perhaps.
She won't leave him.
You keep telling me you're gonna leave him.
I mean, it's hard to know. All right. Meanwhile, let's just do this as well. The Israeli Knesset passed a law yesterday that is a death penalty that is essentially a de facto death penalty only for Palestinians.
Yes, it makes this distinction between military and civilian court. And you would not be shocked to find out that in military courts, it's primarily Palestinians that are tried, Palestinians out of the West Bank in particular. And you want to know what the conviction rate is for Palestinians in Israeli military court? 99%.
Lawmakers voted 62 to 48 in favor of the legislation after nearly a 12-hour debate. Ben Gvir, Israel's national security minister, who was previously convicted of incitement to racism against Arabs, and is taken to wearing a noose on his lapel to show his support for the bill. Here he is sharing some celebratory champagne after this passed. This fascist comes out, and their lapel pins are nooses.
Almost to look like the hostage pins, because they're also yellow.
It specifies that, you can run the footage, it specifies that in military courts that try Palestinians from the occupied West Bank, the default punishment for killing an Israeli citizen in an act of terror would be the death penalty. It also allows convictions based on the majority rather than unanimous rulings by military courts. So it basically lessens the standard for where you can impose the death penalty. And it requires the executions be carried out within 90 days of the final verdict. So there's no messing around with appeals to the extent that there's any process for that. In Israeli courts, non-military courts, which try Israelis, including Palestinian citizens of Israel, the death penalty will apply only in cases where a murder was committed with the intention of, quote, rejecting the existence of the state of Israel.
Yeah, I would just keep that in mind when people ask reflexively news anchors, do you agree that Israel has a right to exist? This is a step away from calling people terrorists.
I mean, many of the opposition members voted for this bill as well.
A clause that critics say means it will not apply to Jewish Israelis. Judges in these courts will also be able to choose whether to impose the death penalty or life imprisonment.
So do crimes that further the existence of the state of Israel, aka meaning maintaining its apartheid status and Jewish supremacist bent, like say Jewish extremism, those kinds of acts?
Well, if you murder somebody, I mean, if Ben Gvir
was
to have murdered somebody in carrying out his extremist positions, presumably a defense to the death penalty be like, no, I did it in furtherance
of the state of Israel,
of the existence of the state of Israel.
I mean,
so
that's probably
death
why
penalty, Your Honor, is not available to this guy because.
I mean, that rapist that raped the Palestinian prisoner on camera that all charges were dropped for, and he's now on Israeli TV as a celebrity showing his face proudly. That rape was in furtherance of the existence of the state of Israel, so that shouldn't be a crime either. And it wasn't. There you go.
I just.
I mean,
I'm sure Jake Tapper focused on that last night, right? Did he?
Yeah. Can we just play a little of this woman crying with joy as she does it? I mean, just a little.
Support of the death penalty law, 42 opposed, 48 opposed, 1 abstainer. I hereby declare the death penalty law passed in the second and third hearing.
That guy's stopping him from popping champagne because we
And
have
the book of
decorum.
laws in the state of Israel, who has provided us life and sustained us and brought, and it's disgusting. That's actually a prayer.
That's a prayer?
Mm-hmm. So gross.
I have thoughts that I will not speak, but
I'm remembering Molly Crabapple on the show yesterday talking about the hijacking of a religion by insane nationalists, and there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
And my God, well, maybe we'll get into this later, but I tweeted out this clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene on a fundraising call with Thomas Massey, where she explicitly blames, quote, Jewish billionaires for backing his opponent. Not Zionists, Jewish billionaires. We are at this moment here where there are really dominant voices who have been given a lot of credibility unduly by some people on our side of the aisle as well, but also just because they're saying truths that folks in the Republican Party won't say, although the framing is really problematic. Like, we are on the precipice of, I think, many years of prolonged anti-Semitism because of this, because there has been an active effort to conflate Zionism with Judaism. And you have these Christian nationalists who are making media careers out of this, where they blame Jews for the crimes of American empire and absolve Christian Zionists who are essential in this role. We just played that clip of Pete Hegseth with his religious justification for the war in Iran, as the state of Israel is also thrilled about this war in Iran. We are working in conjunction with Israel. Israel is our outgrowth. It's not Israel that is the genesis of this, but it's really convenient for Republicans like her to absolve themselves of their own religious fundamentalism. And this is supposedly anti-establishment, these voices. No, you guys are keeping the entire structure of American foreign policy in place, but you're just throwing Jews and Israel overboard.
Also, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she could have stayed in office for the past, since January, and had real influence on the future of this war. I mean, that War Powers Act needed 4 Democratic votes. Maybe it would have been harder to get 5 of those Democrats over. Or maybe if Marjorie Taylor Greene was voting against the war, it would have made it harder for those 4 Democrats to actually vote, because, wait a second, I don't want to be to the right of Marjorie Taylor Greene on this.
Yeah, was there a conspiracy behind her leaving?
She was in a position of power that was, because of her fundraising and whatnot, greater than just about any other Republican lawmaker outside of those in leadership, and B, because of her profile, could have had real impact. Really, there's probably, I don't know, a dozen people maybe that you could say would have more impact than Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know even who they would have been because of how she was situated as a Republican in a moment where there's like a 1-seat majority. And the idea that she's getting credit for anything is just absurd to me.
Yeah, that's what every time
you
I see
literally walked away from the power that you had. It is the ultimate in cowardice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with AOC voting against her amendment, but I can understand the trepidation that she had of aligning herself with this unrepentant anti-Semite. If we want to compare records on this, as some people are doing online, in March 2024, AOC called it a genocide. Marjorie Taylor Greene waited until summer 2025 to do so as she was planning her exit. There were only 6 members that joined that Marjorie Taylor Greene amendment. So if you want to say that AOC's record on this issue is worse than Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and Summer Lee, and Al Green, who voted for it, I'm fine with that. But in terms of like top 10 in Congress, it's pretty obvious who it is.
I mean, AOC's objectively near the top, and those, I think, I wish she wouldn't freelance on issues like that. But it would be nice for all the people that want to use it to hit AOC would lift up people like Tlaib and Omar, because I don't really see Marjorie Taylor Greene types doing that.
And my point is, like, the idea that it was her and Massey were the two Republicans that were on that. And okay, perhaps those votes are useful at certain points, but the point, like, the worldview of Marjorie Taylor Greene, one where there's like no belief in foreign aid. Her early votes that were against Israel aid was when it was packaged with Ukraine, and all of her rhetoric on that front at the time was anti-Ukraine funding. It's about, she believes in like abdicating responsibility that the United States empire has throughout the world, to be an isolationist. And I believe in internationalism and universal human rights. And AOC is a lot closer to that ideology than someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene. And we have lost the plot if there are people that think that Marjorie Taylor Greene, because she's decided to make a media career out of this, is in some way a more effective anti-Zionist voice than AOC. I'm not sure if the brain rot is going to be solved anytime soon on this.
New York Post has Kristi Noem weighing in on report. The family was blindsided by this, right?
I'm sure.
Not the wife, though.
I gotta tell you. Oh, Miss Noem is devastated. Oh my God, she definitely leaked these photos.
Yeah. I would have never guessed the closet he was hiding in was mine.
I can't believe it happened just as I was being investigated for stealing millions of dollars with my boyfriend, and now I'm not. Now my political career is over. I can't believe it. What a coincidence. Citing hundreds of messages purportedly sent by 3 women from the scene, Noem's husband enthusiastically praised their heavily augmented and proclaimed he coveted huge, ridiculous boobs. He appears to have put balloons in his shirt to mimic comically oversized, lopsided breasts.
So the lopsidedness is part of it for him, because he never matched the nipples up in a single one of the.
Oh, the kids. Okay, the kids are 31, 29, and 23. So she wanted out of this. And this is her exit strategy. You know, she's been sitting on those
Wait,
photos.
23. So that means that final kid is out of college. Yeah.
Oh,
perfect timing.
Oh, she's been sitting on these photos for a while.
That's why she gets to act the way
big
she
questions,
does,
according to the Post,
around.
have swirled about the state of the Noem's marriage in recent years, primarily concerning the ousted DHS's chief relationship with Trump confidant Corey Lewandowski. Lewandowski, who's also married, I wonder if we're going to see photos of Lewandowski's wife
cross-dressing.
She puts a cucumber in her pants.
Has been by Noem's side at high-profile events, even sitting side by side across from Guiana's during a meeting with South Africa. Okay, I don't know what the point of that.
Talking about white genocide.
Yeah, okay. So Noem is done, and then Lewandowski's done, and then they're together. They'll get married quickly so that if the investigation proceeds, they can't testify against each other, and they're probably the most valuable witnesses. They can't be forced to testify against your. That's my guess. That's it. Folks, it is time for us to head to the fun half of the program. We started a little bit early, had a little bit of fun. Kristi Noem, and I feel bad for her husband, frankly. Like, dude, you picked the wrong lady to get involved with.
Even if there were no pictures, I'd feel bad for him.
Yes.
Right.
They
had a pretty, if he was allowing her to just be off with Corey for this long period of time, like, as lavender marriages go, that's all right.
Well, apparently it's not even lavender marriage. He just likes big boobs. Which is a little bit of a curveball on that.
He likes them so much that he wants them.
Himself, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever floats your boat, as it were.
The ladies of the View.
Folks, it's your support that makes the show possible. Become a member and support the show. You get the free show free of commercials. You get the fun half. And at the end of this week, right maybe on Monday of next week, we're going to send out an email to members with an offer of, it's going to be first come, first serve, of a free copy of Molly Crabapple's book. I would encourage you, if you can afford it, to buy the book, because every pre-order of the book, and we'll put the link in the podcast and YouTube description, every pre-order helps it get one step closer to being a New York Times bestseller. And if that happens, it's just going to get a lot more prominence, because
Jake Tapper is going to have a nightmare.
Jake Tapper is going to have a real problem. I mean, the beauty of that book is both that it shows, it gives another vision on how to sort of like express your Judaism in the context of an ideology you're probably already sympathetic to, but it also shows that there was anti-Zionism well before there was Israel, and its most prominent voices were Jewish.
Avi Lewis, I saw giving an interview about coming from a long tradition of anti-Zionist Jews and carrying that tradition forward as well. So that's exciting that he leads the NDP now in Canada.
Be nice to see that conversation on our major airwaves every once in a while. But.
Did you say those books that you're only doing domestic shipping?
Oh, yes. We should say we will pay for your shipping if you're in the United States. If you're in Canada, you're going to have to pay for your own shipping. If you're in Europe, you're going to have to pay for your own shipping.
Because you've been taking advantage of us.
For too long.
We've been doing in the Strait of Hormuz.
We've been giving you a free ride. All you non-Americans. So, and also don't forget justcoffee.coop, fair trade coffee, hot chocolate. Use your coupon code majority, get 10% off, and you can buy the Majority Report blend. Matt, what's happening in the Matt Lekian media universe?
Yeah, a fun show coming up on Left Reckoning right after the fun half today over on Left Reckoning YouTube channel or on Twitch, where we talk about CPAC, some cognitive dissonance going on intergenerationally about, say, Steve Bannon's presence at CPAC, despite being a big Epstein fan, or the Iran war. Also, we talk about Trump being at the investment conference in Miami at the same time. I'd rather talk to investors than you stupid activist hogs. And something we're going to be talking about in the fun half today is Rob Schneider's glorious return to stand-up comedy. That really, probably has you a little bit worried, Brian, that there's more competition.
Yeah. Hey, there's room for
Brian's been hanging his head all day at the office.
He's been taking notes. He's been talking like Rob Schneider.
It's just when you run into someone who does it at that level,
I know.
It just makes you wonder why bother even trying.
Step on the fucking stage.
Yeah. Poor Brian. Poor Brian. Brian, take the pork pie hat off. It's not gonna. Come on, dude.
Can I leave my iridescent blazer on?
We'll see you in the fun half.
Three months from now, 6 months from now, 9 months from now. And I don't think it's going to be the same as it looks like in 6 months from now. And I don't know if it's necessarily going to be better 6 months from now than it is 3 months from now. But I think around 18 months out, we're going to look back and go like, wow.
What? What is that going on? It's nuts.
Wait a second. Hold on for a second.
The Majority Report.
Emma, welcome to the program.
Hey.
Matt.
What is up, everyone?
Nomi Key.
You did it. Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Bradley, you want to say hello?
Sorry to disappoint everyone. I'm just a random guy.
It's all the boys today.
Fundamentally false.
No, I'm sorry.
Stop talking for a second and let me finish.
Where is this coming from, dude?
But dude, you want to smoke this 7A?
Yes.
Hi, me? Is it?
Yes.
Yes.
Is this me?
Is it me?
It is you.
Is this me? Hello, is this me?
I think it is you. Who is you? No sound. Every single frickin' day. What's on your mind?
Sports. We can discuss free markets and we can discuss capitalism.
I'm gonna go smell it.
Libertarians.
They're so stupid, though.
Common sense says, of course.
Gobbledygook.
We fucking nailed him.
So what's 79 plus 21?
Challenge met.
I'm positively quivering.
I believe 96, I want to say.
857-210-3501. 1/2. 3/8.
9/11, for instance.
$3,400, $1,900.
654 $3 trillion sold. It's a zero-sum game.
Actually, you're making me think less of it.
But let me say this. Poop.
You can call it satire. Sam goes, it's satire.
On top of it all,
Yeah.
my favorite part about you is just like every day, all day, like everything you do.
Without a doubt. Hey, buddy, we see you. All right, folks.
It's just the week being weeded out, obviously.
Yeah, sun's out, guns out. I don't know.
But you should know.
People just don't like to entertain ideas anymore.
I have a question. Who cares?
Our chat is enabled, folks.
I love it.
I do love that.
Look, gotta jump. Gotta be quick. I gotta jump.
I'm losing it, bro.
2 o'clock. We're already late, and the guy's being a dick. So screw him. Sent to a gulag?
Outrageous.
Like, what is wrong with you?
Love you, bye.
Love you. Bye-bye. We are back. Sam Seder, Emma Vigeland on the Majority Report Fun Half, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing our best. It's in these days. This is sort of fun. Donald Trump's net approval rating is not going in the correct direction for him or the Republican Party. Right now, there is more and more belief that the Democrats have a shot at the Senate. Graham Plattner is looking very strong in Maine. Of course, he hasn't won the primary yet, but they're already starting to put ads up that are as focused on Collins as anything else. Last polling I saw, Sherrod Brown was ahead in Ohio, if you can believe it. The big concern that people have may be in Nebraska, where Dan Osborne is running, and with the support of the Nebraska Democratic Party, some old dude, and I mean old, like in his 80s, registered as a Democrat and is running.
Basically a spoiler.
That's basically a spoiler. And so...
Well, Alaska, hopefully there's some good polling from Peltola. Gosh, what are the other flips that we could be seeing?
Roy Cooper in North Carolina.
Right.
And there's others. But the point being that Donald Trump is weighing down the ticket. And if we had a Democratic leadership that was out and ahead of this stuff, it might be pulling down more and more Republicans as well. Here is Harry Emden taking a look at this stuff.
This has been a steady fall into the abyss. There is no bottom. Death Valley, Death Sea. That is how low we are going. You know, you go back to last year when he was sworn in for a second term. He was at +6 points. Then -3 points a year ago. -7 points 9 months ago. -10 points in October 2025. January 2026, -13 points. And now all the way down to -18 points. A term too low. In term one, it was anything but that. Take a look here, the 3-month change in Trump's net approval rating at this point in the term. In term one, he was actually rising at this point. He was actually going up. His 3-month change was up by 5 points. Now we're talking about a 3-month change in which he has fallen to a new term too low, in which he's at -18 points. If there's one big number from this, is that Donald Trump now has the worst net approval rating among independents of any president ever at this point in term 2. He is worse than Richard Nixon, who would be going adios amigos in a few months back in 1974 and term 2. Look at this, minus 45 points, worse than George W. Bush at this point in term 2. The Iraq War was weighting him down at minus 37, and worse than Richard Nixon when, of course, there were all those impeachment hearings back in 1974 at minus 36 points. He's nearly 10 points worse among independents on his net approval rating at this point in term 2, Donald Trump is, than Richard Nixon. My goodness gracious.
But Trump is on it. He's not going to sit idly by with his numbers falling like this. This is fantastic because I think it really does make it clear like what his strategy is. And his strategy is like,
whatever makes me feel good.
Yes. Watch this.
Here's another one. Wait, excuse me, wait. I thought I'd do this now because it's easier. I'm so busy that I don't have time to do this. But I'm fighting wars and other things. But this is very important because this is going to be with us for a long time, and it's going to be, I think it'll be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. It's its highest level. Same height, exact height, if not higher. Same height as the White House, exactly the same height. And if you look, you have the White House over here, you have this, and that's a duplicate of the wall. So it pays total homage to the White House, which is, I think, very important too.
So important, I demolished part of it.
I'm showing pictures of, and honestly, I think like what this guy is thinking about now is this is going to be here for years and years. DeSantis in Florida has now renamed Miami Airport the Donald J. Trump Airport. They are, he is going to, he's rebuilding a big chunk of the White House. This is what he's thinking. Like, I'm on my way out, literally, figuratively, existentially, in every way.
Like some tombstones for myself.
He's like, they can,
ill graffiti artist.
They can, if we lose the Senate, I mean, who knows what he's got planned for the elections. I think he knows if they lose the Senate, Republicans, the House is almost a foregone conclusion that he is going to be impeached. But he's like, we've made billions of dollars in a year, and I'm getting an airport named after me. I'm rebuilding. People are going to look at the White House for the next 250 years and see this. Honestly, like, if he doesn't die in office, I'd like him to live long enough to watch the bulldozer take out that frickin' ballroom. Or convert it into...
It's the only good argument for him not dying.
Yes.
Or convert it into like office space. Something like that. Something like, I mean, I would love to see something like that happen.
A Barack Obama gender-affirming character.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
He lies so easily to where he's like, I don't have time for this. But it's like, it's all you are thinking about.
I
It's
just
the only
happen to
thing
have
that
this
keeps your attention.
36-inch painting
Excuse me,
here.
excuse me.
I just, if I could just get this out here. I forgot that I had it in my luggage.
It's the Kristen Wiig SNL sketch. Don't make me sing. Just don't make me show you the ballroom. And dude, I thought you weren't fighting wars. They were supposed to be military excursions. Also, I thought you were ending wars, not fighting them, which is why you supposedly deserved Machado's Nobel Peace Prize. So Trump's all over the lot, as Chuck Schumer would say.
Folks are also reminding me there's a bunker underneath there's like a data center bunker being built underneath the ballroom. Yeah.
Well, that's very fitting with the technoligarch era.
All right, let's get to the fun stuff, shall we? CPAC was sort of like, the only thing coming out of CPAC this year was a lot of the groypers saying, like, we're done with the Republican Party and only B-listers, D-listers went to CPAC this year.
Trump didn't go. Trump was at the
didn't
Saudi.
go. Everybody sort of
conference.
ignored.
It was an
CPAC.
ESG conference, literally ESG, which DeSantis supposedly outlawed. But
This is, I mean, people have to understand it must be so depressing at CPAC because they realize, like, for the true believers, they realize they were lied to. For the non-true believers, they realize, like, none of this stuff is working to the extent that, like, you know, we thought that once there was no immigrants, the country would be so much better.
It reminds me of how last summer we talked about going, or 2 summers ago, talked about going to the DNC, and we were like, no.
Yeah.
It's so depressing. No.
But the flip side of that is when so few people are going and few people are interested in, it opens up doors for some of your faves. I give you Rob Schneider at the Real America's Voice stage.
I think that's just their Chiron, and they just have a camera here. But oh yeah, no, you're right. I didn't see that behind.
Here
you.
it
Okay,
is.
here we go.
Psyching himself up. Here he comes.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Oh, so they got a new woman on The View. Have you heard? Jimmy Kimmel is going to join the cast. How are you? Thank you so much. The ladies of The View. I appreciate it. Well, I'll tell you, something happened where I was able to get lunch. I just got off the plane from Europe. And we went out to a place here in town in Dallas. And the waiter was a little nervous. And I said to him, you know, and he's a Mexican guy. And I said, are you okay? You know, and he said, Mr. Snyder, I'm just a little nervous because I am not here legally. And I'm afraid that ICE is going to take me and back to Mexico. And I felt like, wow, that's awful. Because these are the people that we want in this country. You know, people are working really hard. Then he completely screwed up my lunch and was like, get this guy out of here. You can't screw up lunch. That's the most important meal of the day.
Oh, Jesus. That was, hold on for a second.
What I like is it was such a long way to get there.
Oh,
That's how you want to write.
That's right. You really want premise to constitute 98% of the joke, particularly when that 2% is virtually no payoff. It really is almost just like, I'm throwing away the line.
What do you mean no payoff? I had not heard about it being the most important meal of the day.
You better get out of
Yeah,
here.
famously the thing they say about lunch.
Yeah. You better get out of here.
So
I mean, this guy, honestly, like,
are we going to remark on the coat?
Yeah, we should paint a picture.
My friend told me
I honestly
that you
think
can tell he doesn't have black friends because his hat doesn't match his suit at all.
the pork pie hat is completely out of line with the
Yes. Deuce Bigelow and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
But the energy he's bringing to this, was this done at like 4 a.m.?
This has noon energy to me.
Oh, totally.
It has noon energy.
Well, that's why everybody was so teed into lunch. I mean, he
Right.
could have said breakfast.
Maybe he messed up.
Yeah. Why not say breakfast? It would. I mean,
but he's
how
trying.
much funnier would it have gotten though?
He's trying.
I don't think that was the problem.
Here's why you don't say breakfast, is because part of this is about the message, not just the jokes.
Right.
And he feels strongly about lunch being the most important meal of the day, and he's trying to push that. That's one of his things that he's doing.
Well, I mean, keep politics out of comedy, please.
Well, to a Hollywood elite like this, lunch is probably breakfast to him. You know.
Oh yeah,
See
no,
that
he
guy
rolls out of bed.
Out of a plane from Europe, straight into lunch.
You know, a working man comedy.
My favorite, my favorite comedy now is Instagram. Mexican guys crying. Have you seen that? It's pretty funny. Please, El Presidente Trump, don't take my mother-in-law back to Mexico. She's not here legally, please. Her name is Maria Reyes Gonzalez. She lives at 311 Nelson Avenue. She's 4'11", 293 pounds. She's there right now. I'll help you pack her shit.
Nailed it
So
with
anyway, I
the
will say-
mother-in-law joke. Oh my God! You know what though? You got to appreciate the guy knows his audience.
Yeah, a fat
Yeah.
mother-in-law joke.
Far, but shrouded in anti-Mexican joke.
Well, he combined the two themes of the first two jokes: the view, don't we hate women that are postmenopausal, and
Yeah.
two, the accent. So now it's both racism and misogyny.
Now get ready for a change of pace.
All right, do we get to see the rest of because this is the shot that they're sort of like streaming it on. I
do.
want the shot
We'll
that
see-
shows that there's like 15 people there.
The
Yeah.
trailing off at the punchline is so funny.
So we're gonna skip a little bit. We're gonna skip a little bit in ahead. He does some anti.
Well, wait a second. If you skip ahead, are we gonna get like the mood of what's going on? Don't we need to? Don't we feel like we need the energy? Like, I mean, he's crafted this set, and you're just skipping around.
No, I think you can kind of guess what he says about Somalis and that they don't send their best. That's the minute we're gonna skip here until we see the crowd show.
Okay, but I'll give you a taste.
of
You're just
it.
not. You're ruining his art.
I know
Go
it's
ahead.
craft,
Go ahead,
but
Matt.
okay.
You don't get it.
Yeah.
They can just come over here, marry their brother, and then open up a Leering Center. And the next thing you know,
He's pointing at Brace Belden there. I just want to point out who will appear in a second.
Oh my God, I
Brace
can't
Belden
wait.
from True Anonymous, who
was out there.
apparently Schneider does not realize is not a sincere Rob Schneider super fan.
He's like snapping his fingers.
That's incredible.
You got it. Schneider's so happy he's got somebody.
Leering Center. I
Look
get
at this
that
guy
reference.
is totally
this
into
guy
me.
gets it.
This guy totally gets it. We're on the same wavelength, buddy. You got it.
no, it's incredible. How rich is this country where Somalians could be stealing billions of dollars from us and we
Somalians?
don't even notice? How incredible is that? Can you imagine you can have $100,000 in your pocket and it just goes missing?
So Brace is a guy
He's nodding.
in the
He's
tan
nodding.
jacket.
Yeah, put the cursor over him so that people see it right there. Yeah, he's nodding. That's fantastic right there.
Standing
Yellow
at
jacket.
attention. I'm in church.
Yeah.
I'm in church right now.
His hands folded across.
I'm witnessing a real sermon.
Imagine you can have $100,000 in your pocket and it just goes missing. You go, oh, I don't know. I got another 100,000 over here. This is going to sound terrible, maybe a little racist.
This is going to sound
So I won't
racist.
say it because you guys are all filming this. But let me see. I had some points. I just got back from
Embrace.
Hungary, where the Hungarian Donald Trump, Viktor Orban, is there. He's a great guy, and it's an amazing free
He's
country.
snapping his fingers.
And it doesn't have the what the rest of Western Europe has. They've managed to keep that country free.
Can you
And,
pause it? I'm sorry.
He was he on tour with Dave Rubin?
Rubin.
So,
Pause it. Was he on tour with Dave Rubin? Because he's saying the exact same thing that we saw Dave Rubin say.
Also, does he have a fear of flying and he takes a Klonopin every time he flies? 'Cause
this
he
is,
zooted.
I honestly am like interested in who funded that trip to Hungary
That's
for a
actually
bunch
the
of
point.
right wing influencers.
It's the exact point I made is, did you pay for that with your own money?
Yeah,
Go
I
to
mean,
Hungary?
No, he just coincidentally went on the same trip as Dave Rubin.
doesn't everyone want a vacation in Hungary? And everyone I talk to is always like, Eastern Europe is where it's at.
It's a comics retreat.
I also just want to say something like, look,
in March.
Rob Schneider is not 87 years old. I just want to make that clear. He is
62. I have his
3
Wikipedia open.
years older than me. So this is where I think it really starts to go downhill for me.
He may not
This
be
is
80,
any
but his
indicator.
material is.
Yeah, exactly. It's close to 90. I mean, the mother-in-law jokes. Like
the
if
Jeff
I had
Parr
done a
show?
mother-in-law joke when I first started comedy, which was 35 years ago, people have been like, Are you serious?
Yeah. Is this ironic? We'll watch a little bit more of
Even Don Rickles 35 years ago was not doing his mother-in-law jokes.
his sincere point about Orban here, and then we can skip a little bit ahead to his Bill Gates bit.
It maintains that way. So, and I did that, and I wrote some notes down. What else here?
Oh, that's a good sign.
The Chinese Bible that the government of China puts in, you know, the famous biblical quote of Jesus when he goes, they're about to stone this woman. And Jesus says,
He's hyping himself up.
those who have committed no sin cast the first stone. And so they all drop their stones. In the Chinese communist version, after Jesus says, "Ye who has not sinned, cast the first stone." After that, in the Chinese version, Jesus kills her himself. It's incredible.
Oh man, he's medicated.
So
yeah,
I have no idea what's going on.
This is not
Like that's not beta blockers. We're talking.
Incidentally,
something else.
You will notice there are people who are starting to leave. They have got front row seats, or standing, and they are starting to like
How
wander.
did Rob Schneider not do a Chinese voice there?
I was
It's like
surprised.
a mile away.
Also, man, the lights are on bright. Like they are. It is lit like a gymnasium in high school.
Oh, this next bit is very funny.
The whole purpose of my jacket.
All right, here he goes. He's a celebrity here.
is that Nick Shirley over there? Nick! That is. Is that him? It's not? Oh, it's Alex Stein. Okay. I can't see without my glasses. But yeah, so that's...
He's heavily
remarkable.
medicated.
What else I wanted to tell you? Oh, Bill Gates, it came out that Jeffrey Epstein said in those papers that he's a very good source, by the way. I think a very believable source, Jeffrey Epstein. That Bill Gates apparently got STDs from Russian hookers too. Yeah, the guy yells it over there. And then he tried to get Jeffrey Epstein to get him some antibiotics so he could sneak them into his wife. Now that's terrible, but at least he had a plan. A lot of guys don't even have a plan.
Sympathetic.
A lot of
with Bill
guys who
Gates.
go, I don't know how you got it. You know, maybe at Pilates. They never clean those things down over there, you know.
His eyes
Those
won't
yoga
open.
pants, viruses can go right up your hoo-hoo. You never know.
Ha ha.
Your what?
Jesus,
But
I
women
feel
are
like
too
we're
smart
about
for
watching
that.
a guy about to have a stroke. Honestly, like, what is stopping people from going like, we got to get up there? Are you okay, Rob?
I mean, was he
He
still?
looks like he's about to have a stroke, doesn't he?
He looks like he's about to fall asleep. His eyelids are so heavy.
You know, a lot of guys are just I'm sorry. I don't. It feels so good.
Well, he really heats up in the last.
The worst set I've ever seen in my life.
Like this
I did
before.
open mics in laundromats
This is,
15 years ago.
It really, honestly, feels like, you know, like you go like an open mic, and there's maybe somebody up there who's like literally about to faint.
Yeah, in trouble.
And people don't fully grasp what's going on, and it's like somebody's pumped gas into the room where everybody's just sort of like,
100%.
I've never seen anything like this, where I got that feeling from video. Like he's literally traveling through space and time and making it awkward outside of the TV.
But women are too smart for that kind of stuff, guys. Women will never fall for that. No matter how, you know, how clever you are. Honey, I just made you a new smoothie.
Oh my God.
Are you trying to sneak antibiotics into me because you got STDs from Russian hookers? That's how smart they are. So let me think of what else I can say. It's kind of distracting up here. Oh, yeah. Not that. I don't want to get in trouble.
This is great.
All right. What's to get in trouble? No. I can do it. You can do it. Thank you. Well, are we going to have...
Do the you can do it! Do the you can do it!
We're going to...
So in 20 seconds, someone does it again, and he does it again.
Oh my god! Oh my god! He literally was like, "It's not worth it to do this." Whatever. He gave up.
You can do it.
Here, and we're gonna have a
5
little
minutes.
talk. We're gonna ask some questions for people. Have a little discussion.
Oh,
You guys
this
want to
is
do that
great.
now? Is Andrew here? Are we gonna do that, or are we gonna do that after?
After what?
We'll do it after. So what's gonna happen now?
Oh no, you're set.
Music next. You can do it. I already did it. Hi. Anyway, so let me see if I have something that I wanted to tell you that was important. Oh, I'm going to come back up here with a couple of guys, and we'll go over some of the stuff that's happening
over?
In the country and what we need to work on.
Put a rail and Adderall. Come back.
Next. So who's going to come up and do some? Who is it?
This is the closer.
Who am I introducing next? John Mellis? What's that? I'm going to sing for you. So who's... I will. You guys come up here. We're going to have music, and then I'm going to come back up. And that's the rumor I just heard. And then, so you guys stick around for a little bit, and I'll come back up, and we'll do some more.
Promise?
Thank you so much. John Mellis is coming up now. Hey, good to see you.
What was that? 50 grand he just made?
He tapped out with 5 minutes. That was a 6-minute long clip, and I don't know if he made it to 5.
I don't know. He definitely did not do 5 minutes.
He didn't want to burn any of his good stuff.
Let's hear what else I have to tell you guys about what's going on in this country.
That might be the loosest 5 I've ever seen.
But what else is going on?
What can I tell you? Wow. There's a guy who it feels like he had a little bit of regret.
You can do it.
I don't understand his grievance with the world because he should be kissing Adam Sandler's ring and saying
100%.
thank you every day for how little talent he has and how much opportunity he got.
Doing the copy.
He should be the happiest man alive.
I mean, how many of those like
Honestly.
those grown-ups movies must have made millions and millions? I mean,
Unbelievable. How does he feel like a victim? I don't understand it.
Do it all night long.
I was trying to find that video. Do you remember on Fox News it was Glenn Beck where that guy passed out on air? Ugh, when Glenn Beck was still on Fox News, he goes, "I'm passing out. I'm passing out."
I
No?
don't.
Okay. That's what it reminded me of.
Meanwhile, I don't know. I almost feel sad now.
Oh, not me. The endorphins are fucking flowing right now. I feel great. There's nothing I love more than watching somebody eat it.
That was worse. I mean, you guys had hyped
But
it
I don't
up
even
and-
think he was aware
Yeah.
that he ate it. That's the thing. I don't think he had any
Did you
idea.
know where he was?
Well, I just want to play this FCC chair. Was at CPAC, and this is the chair of the FCC. Just like, I know this is almost ridiculous to even bring up at this point, but the idea of the earnest voices, supposedly, that were complaining about government influence on the dissemination of conspiracy theories about vaccines at a time of a public health emergency. And the inference and elaboration that was involved in them ringing this bell of government censorship. This is the chair of the Federal Communications Commission at CPAC. First off, like, why is he there? I mean, can you imagine, like, the chair of the FCC going to, I don't know, like the DSA convention and doing anything except for like a policy, anything other than like a policy address. I mean, like, it's just impossible to imagine anybody saying this. But the amazing thing is it just shows the abject hypocrisy. I don't think hypocrisy is that relevant when we're talking about politicians, but so-called journalists who were so concerned on how censorious our society had become. This is what we talk about when we talk about First Amendment infringement, where the government is shaping what you hear. Play this.
To give you such a shout out.
Look, President Trump, when he ran for office, he ran directly at the fake news media. So many other politicians and Americans simply gave way to the legacy national media. They let the legacy media set the narrative, and President Trump smashed the facade. He said, you don't get to decide what we say, what we think, how we're going to vote inside the voting booth. President Trump took on the fake news media, and President Trump is winning. Look at the results so far. PBS defunded, NPR defunded, Joy Reid gone from MSNBC, Sleepy Eyes Chuck Todd gone, Jim Acosta gone, John Dickerson gone, Colbert is leaving, CBS is under new ownership, and soon enough CNN is going to have new ownership as well. So we're not we're not at the point yet, raising the mission accomplished flag, but President Trump is taking on the fake news media, and President Trump is winning.
And this is
the mission accomplished flag. You mean the thing that's widely mocked for the mission not being accomplished?
Well, also, you're also revealing that you perceive this as your mission.
Right.
To silence specific voices on television, be they cable news or late night television or the ownership of media enterprises. I mean, this is exactly what the First Amendment was about. Government interference in, all those people who were like, whatever, the Twitter files or here you have someone's campaign. They weren't even in office at that point, saying you should take this down or you should take that down. And now you have the chair of the FCC bragging about how they got ownership changed of these things, how they got specific commentators off the air.
I mean, naming Joy Reid there is insane. Some of the other people they mentioned, he mentioned Jim Acosta, Chuck Todd. Those are people that are like, supposedly neutral anchors that they felt were unfair to the president. It's just an interesting invocation of Joy Reid because we remember when she was fired by MSNBC, her ratings were pretty good comparatively. And it was a lot because she was speaking out against Israel's genocide in Gaza on there and was definitely the anchor that was most before, they fired Mehdi Hassan and also you have Ayman on the weekends. But like on the primetime air slots, she was critical of Israel. And then you pair that with him bragging about CBS being under new ownership and CNN being under new ownership potentially as well. I'm sure we'll play this later, but Jake Tapper auditioning for the Ellisons by going after Hassan is like, it's just crazy to see this large scale censorship by the FCC. And it's both about critics of Trump, but also critics of Israel.
Yeah.
You can say COVID on YouTube now.
And the R word.
And make sure it stays monetized too, which is the most important thing.
Exactly. Well, we got a half hour. Should we take some phone calls?
Sure.
Let's see if I can get this going.
Do I need to?
No, I think we're good. Folks, the phone number is 646-257-3920. 646-257-3920 is the number. Uday and Kusei Lutnick, do you think Trump getting rid of the Endangered Animals Act for the Gulf has anything to do with that rice whale calling him a punk bitch that will never be president, or is it just a coincidence? I don't know any of what you
Oh,
just
the
said.
rice whale is one of the endangered species that are going to be impacted by
Never heard of that.
his Gulf. I mean, just one of the many headlines that gets submerged in this insane era. Towards the end of our news packet today, we had a story about it, but Trump is going to revoke protections for endangered species in the Gulf of Mexico. So oil and gas can drill in areas that would impact these animals. Rice whales, only 51 rice whales remain, and yet, and that was because, and they were on the brink of extinction after the 2010 Deepwater Horizon oil rig spill. And Trump is now trying to make sure they're fully extinct, it seems. You also have wildlife like the sea turtles that will be impacted, cranes, so.
This, someone just IM'd Tucker Hart Carlson. For context, Rob Schneider's wife just left him. By the way, he groomed her as a teenager when he was in his 40s. That makes sense and completely follows my theory of like, when somebody tells me their politics, I immediately ask if they're recently divorced. And I should have asked that question. And it seems like, I don't want to make assumptions, but Patricia Azarkoya.
Arce.
Is that her name? I don't know.
That's what Wikipedia says.
She might
She's
be
her
of
hometown
Latin
is
heritage.
in Mexico. Her hometown's in Mexico.
Ah.
So that ranting about the Latina mother-in-law.
Things. My God. God. Oh my God.
That's why he couldn't even function without. So, I can't even talk
They
about
got
her.
married 15 years ago when she was 16 years ago when she was 21.
So they met.
She
Before that?
was 21 and he was, I don't know, 16 years younger than 62. 48? Is that what that is? 46? Okay. Now it all makes sense. Yep. Tucker Hart Carlson.
There's like so much I would love to know about being a 21-year-old girl.
Chipster in Worcester. Trump administration, just one big Days of Our Lives season, isn't it? Yep. Calling from a 720 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Charlie the Mailman.
Charlie the Mailman, what's on your mind?
I was just gonna let Emma know that I really appreciated that Choose Your Own Fighter rally. I thought it was really inspirational. I kind of feel like it's the only time I've ever seen kind of like that coordination. So I really appreciate it. That's all I wanted to say.
I'm glad that you got something out of it. I'm really happy that we fundraised for some of those candidates.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm kind of. It's hard to be inspired when you work like 70 hours a week at the post office.
Yeah, I'm sorry about
and then
that.
you get a day like I was supposed to go do some stuff for Malat on Saturday, and lo and behold, I'm, working again.
Malak Heroes.
And I'm trying.
Yeah.
And we're trying to. I'm just trying to figure out how to inspire the blue collar workers that are out there that, just don't seem to have that much time to participate, and kind of, how to crack into that, because I mean, right now I just feel like I have no choice but to do whatever I can. But
I mean, you got to start somewhere. Claudia Scheinbaum in Mexico shows that what helps is passing a large minimum wage increase and things like that people actually feel in their everyday life. But until we have the power to do some of those things, although, maybe Zoran's kind of turning that around a little bit and showing that government can deliver, then I think you can hope for it a little bit more precipitously.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of strange to be in the post office because it's like you get somebody says your boss says, hey, today you get a guaranteed 8-hour day, and you're kind of supposed to kiss their ass because, oh, we're supposed to be so happy that I get an 8-hour day today. And that's been whittling down, as far as I can tell, for a very long time when it comes to working rights and what we expect of our employers and what we expect of ourselves. The batteries that we all carry around in us are all pretty empty, I think.
Well, hang in there. Appreciate the phone call.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Calling from a 336 area code, 336.
Hey, is this me?
Yes, it's you. Who's this?
Hey, it's JJ from the better Carolina.
JJ.
I'll let you guess which one that is.
North.
North.
The north?
Yeah. Gotta be.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Twice in South Carolina, so I feel that one seriously.
Only once in North Carolina.
Yeah. If you're going to get arrested, make it south. Yeah, so you were talking about, the monuments and the White House and everything, and it's something I've been thinking about. Is it crazy to talk about the possibility that Trump just will not be leaving office because he's changing everything as if he's staying there forever? I mean, is it time to talk about that with some sort of, I don't know, is it crazy to even think about that discussion at this point? I just want some opinions on that from you guys.
I don't think it's crazy to have that in the back of your head and have some notion of what would I do in that instance? Would I go out and protest? Would I stop work? What would I be willing to do? I
just don't see I don't see many people going down, speaking about this out loud yet, as if it's.
Well, he's got. I mean, there's a midterm. There's a midterm election, and I think on one hand, I certainly last summer I was really concerned about the possibility of a midterm election actually happening. Now I am more of the mind that they're just going to try and interfere with it in any way they can.
Sure.
I suspect if they had the ability to do some magical cheating, we would have seen it in the context of some other elections.
I think the cheating or whatever is going to come in the form. Oh, that was the Senate race we missed. Texas. Republican governors letting ICE come in to intimidate people at the polling stations. Texas needs to be on the front of everybody's minds with that because of the sizable Latino population and with an all but eager governor who would be happy to suppress the vote on behalf of the Republican versus Tallarico.
And the classic thing they do just generally of messing with polling sites and stuff like that, which actually indeed played some role. It wouldn't have helped Crockett win, but did affect a lot of maybe her voters in Dallas, for instance.
Yeah, so I think that's, and then we'll see in terms of the midterm, if I think the chances of Trump, refusing to leave in 2028, if he loses, increase as, in direct inverse proportion to how well Democrats do in the midterms. But that's 3 years off, really. And so, and let's be honest. I mean, how much time has he got?
God, we've been saying that.
Yeah, true. I mean, his parents lived to 90 something or pretty old age. So it's just, it just seems like there's time to start getting people to think about this for real that don't,
well, I think,
you know what I mean?
It'll be easier to bring people into focus when we see what happens in the midterms.
Yeah, I agree. I
think
agree. It's just
the short term prescription is the same thing that would be than if J.D. Vance or Tucker Carlson was the president. We need to organize communities and to prepare for it. So what exactly the fight is, there's a certain way, like if I'm the right, like do I really want to break the entire Constitution so that what is Kim Jong-un called a dotard can like live out his final demented years like in a ballroom? Like from a political, like at a certain point, people's egos will kick in if he starts looking like a lame duck, I think.
Specifically, would J.D. Vance be what kind of maneuverings does J.D. Vance want to make? If he's in the Mike Pence position, he's not going to be caught with his pants down. He's going to have the backing of Peter Thiel and the technoligarchs to swoop in.
Appreciate the call.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.
Thanks. Calling from an 859 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, is this me?
Yes, it is you.
Hi there. My name is Herbert Lynn. I am a member of the local Bluegrass DSA chapter, and I was calling in to make a comment about someone who called in last week. This was before the No Kings protest, and you were plugging the No Kings protest a lot, and I just wanted to make a comment. They were feeling really disheartened by all the political developments we've seen here over the past year or two, and since Trump's first term. And my advice to them probably would have been that the No Kings protest is a great opportunity to visit a lot of different organizations and a lot of different groups out there who are doing really good work. And, you know, I was in a very similar place as to that caller last week who was feeling pretty despondent, and getting involved in, you know, a local group, the Bluegrass Democratic Socialists of America, was the kind of what brought me up and made me feel a whole lot better about how I can help make things better in my country.
Nice.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And, you know, there was a lot of people who went out.
Oh, yeah. Lexington, Kentucky had a great turnout, and, you know, it was good to see everyone out and about.
Sweet. Well, thanks for the call.
You're welcome. I actually did want to say one other thing.
Sure.
So after being involved in the Bluegrass Democratic Socialists for a while, they encouraged me to run for city council, and now I am running as a cadre candidate for an at-large seat in Lexington, Kentucky.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Where can people get more information if they live in the area and want to help in some way?
If they want to sign up to volunteer or donate, they can go to Herbert4Lex.com. We canvass every Sunday. Right now we're canvassing in the 1st District of Lexington, Kentucky. We usually meet every Sunday at noon, but this Sunday is Easter, so we've moved that to Saturday. So if you're not busy on Saturday and looking for something to do, we could always use more volunteers.
Herbert4Lex.
Yep.
Appreciate the call. Good luck.
Thank y'all. Have yourselves a good one.
You too.
Thanks, you
That's
too.
awesome.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Some more IMs. We got...
There's something from around that neck of the woods with our boy Kid Rock, if we want to cover
Oh,
that.
yes.
Oh, yeah. I want to see this. Apparently...
So Kid Rock, I guess, the Army's has an investigation ongoing because this Apache attack helicopter decided to make a visit at Kid Rock's Nashville home next to
the
this
Southern White House is what he calls it.
Oh, understood.
Yeah.
I thought that's Mar-a-Lago.
Oh,
How
so he's
dare
from
you?
Michigan.
Well, it says it. You'll see it.
Yeah,
it
no,
says it here.
It says it above the
Oh, he
cooler.
calls it that. Honestly, Trump should excommunicate him for that very reason, because that's Mar-a-Lago. That's Mar-a-Lago. Stolen valor.
But yeah, so these are Apache helicopters. I'll play this here. And the caption reads, "This is a level of respect that shit-for-brains governor of California will never know. God bless America and all those who have made the ultimate sacrifice to defend her."
Not me, though.
10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, 35,000.
All right, now go off to Iran and die for me.
Exactly.
Die for the kid. Make the ultimate sacrifice.
I sort of feel like had that helicopter just sort of like turned.
I know.
And then,
I would have ran.
And maybe like
Just strafed his old.
I mean, in Final Destination, he'd be sucked into the propeller, or the
blade would
the
cut his head off.
engine. Yep.
I love a guy who's got who is both anti-immigrant and has a tiny
of
replica
Liberty?
of the Statue of Liberty.
On his pool where he can look down on everybody in the entire
You know what town this house is located in? Whites Creek, Tennessee.
Whites Creek.
Interesting. Let's look at the lineage of that name.
Come on. Whites Creek. I would also bet probably my entire life savings that it's a private community.
Oh, absolutely.
Ramona Frankenstein, I'm sorry, but Rob Schneider's jokes are hack. Well, you really don't have to
Okay.
apologize for that
Take it
assessment.
easy.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to put yourself out there.
Yeah, you try to make some jokes.
I haven't heard him talk about what a bitch his wife is a single time.
And he doesn't have a wife.
And no speaking in fake gay lisp. Get a real job, Schneider.
Well, you got to go see The Hour if you want to see the gay list.
Emma blows her nose with that tissue of lies. I have no message, just want to use this name.
Yeah.
Martig, y'all seen Gnome Husband kink news? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what we were talking about before the show for like.
NASA county spokesperson. Today is the deadline for the New York State budget. Email your New York Assembly representative, state senator, and Governor Hochul to tax the rich. Steve in Alaska. Melania and Barron got to go? Question mark. Noah from Tampa. Brace's reporting from CPAC was very Thompson-esque.
Oh, I need to check that out.
Tim's trolley problems. Oh, I didn't realize Rob Schneider was a prop comic, as in he's being propped up by spiteful right-wing ideology.
Hey, also pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, that's his prop. It's a chest full of pills.
John Miller. So banning conversion therapy is not okay, but banning gender-affirming care, Skirmetti, is okay. Big brain stuff from SCOTUS. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Pool's lyricist. I've been learning Spanish for over a year now, and with the help of Babbel and others, I can converse with native speakers a bit, but still cannot. Oh, yeah, I read that already. Labor Churchill. The ballroom is about the bunker under the West Wing, looking like a 70s government building with no gold.
I mean, I think that whoever he was consulting with thought the bunker was a good idea. I don't think the bunker is Trump's primary fixation. This
You
is the
think
guy.
he wants to live in a bunker?
No. This is a guy that like he's a little paranoid, but he like loves the grandiosity of Trump Tower and everything. That's what he's trying to do.
Also, I wouldn't be surprised if the way he was saying it's the exact same height as the White House. I bet you they have it like an inch high.
Yeah, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Calling from a 646 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from? 646.
Oops. Hello?
Hello?
Is this me?
Yes.
Is this me?
Yes, it
Hi.
is. Hi.
Yeah. I wanted to find out if you guys have heard the latest news on friend of the show, Charlie Kirk's trial.
I heard today there was a report that the defense wants to hear more about the ATF's inability to confirm that the bullet they found in the autopsy does not match the gun from the suspect that was arrested. And they want to push the trial or the first hearing by 6 months so that the FBI can do a more testing, more ballistic testing to see if the bullet matches the weapon.
Yes, that's all I've heard. But yeah, I just thought interesting story about how Kash Patel doesn't maybe know what the hell he's doing.
I suspect that is true. That Kash Patel is not handling this particularly well. I also suspect that, like, the FBI is strapped. A ton of them had to be, start going on patrols with ICE. I don't know what the resources were that were, dedicated to this, but it does seem to be a mess, the entire conviction. I will tell you, I want a functioning, justice system, but I also am torn between that and the idea that all of this ambiguity gives the opportunity for these people to dine on each other. And I think that's probably a net positive for the country.
Right. I agree.
So, it's amazing to me that they haven't figured this stuff out yet. Like, it's been 5 months, 6 months.
Yes, I think September.
Yeah, it's nuts. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, have a good one.
Dave from Jamaica, bullet in the gun not matching sounds like an issue for trial. I mean, I don't know if they mishandled stuff. I don't understand how that happens.
I wonder if Candace got some word that there was some issue with the evidence early on and decided to really dive in because of that. Because Erica has been worried about the trial and the conviction from the start of their back and forth with it. She's like, Candace is going to mess the trial up.
But we don't need to, I don't think we need to really even hypothesize that, because like Candace didn't probably launch into her conspiracism right away, right? Within 48 hours, it was clear that they had mishandled it. There was that stuff about like the misleading claim, or don't know
like
if
another guy that they thought was the suspect. Yeah.
Well, didn't they also claim that he unpacked the gun, but it was also like a kind of rifle that you couldn't take apart or something? I'm not remembering exactly, but they were
leaking stuff all over.
But they spent the first 72 hours with, remember the bullets that they said were from trans ideology, but it was like the brand of the bullet. They probably mishandled evidence because they were focused on making it about a trans person.
Yep. Calling from a 925 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hang on. Hello, it's Meg McKay.
Meg McKay. From where are you calling from, Meg?
Yes, from the IMs and from the West Coast.
From the West Coast. Go ahead.
Yes, I've lived all up and down the West Coast. I am calling because I have started getting teaser trailers for the new Harry Potter show on HBO. And we need to boycott that. It needs to die harder than Game of Thrones the last season.
Yeah, it's a very weird. I saw the trailer too, and I'm not watching it, obviously. What's the point? Like, they're recreating shot for shot the films that everybody basically already loves. So they're doing a mini-series version of each season. But, like...
What?
There's two reasons. There's two reasons she's doing this. One is so that she can fund more anti-trans legislation. And two, so that the people from the movies who disagree with her on her trans bigotry don't get royalties anymore, because there will be this new property out that is paying people who agree with her.
So wait a second. They're redoing the movies as a series?
Like the way there's 7 books, there will be 7 seasons. They're filming it as the kids grow up. And John Lithgow is Dumbledore.
But
very disappointing.
I don't understand.
Why?
What do you mean? Everything's a reboot now.
Yeah, they're rebooting it.
It's not even a reboot. They're doing it shot for shot.
Well, no, I'm basically I'm being a little bit over dramatic about it, but
they're going over it again for a miniseries.
Yes, but they are recreating some of the iconic shots from the first films, which are still very fresh in the minds of the fans of this series.
And also on HBO right now.
Yes.
You can also watch them on HBO.
Yeah. It's
well, I mean, if you want to read something good, go read the Redwall book.
Yes, and this is exactly right, that she's still extremely active as an anti-trans funder, bigot across the world, especially in the UK. But it speaks to me like this nostalgia thing where everything is a remake and everything is just using old intellectual property. We're at a fever pitch with it right now. I'm telling you.
It's really gross.
And it feels like that Timothée Chalamet got heat for saying that he doesn't want film to be a dying medium like opera, because they were just redoing old properties and not coming up with anything new. and he got like blacklisted, or there was this whole campaign against how offensive that statement was, or ballet. But he's 100% right. I mean, the film industry is, and I also think like when you see our algorithms pumping nostalgia content to the top of people's feeds, it is really narrowing people's ability to interact with art that challenges their worldview in any way. And it's just about hitting people and in the same, like, where your brain was at and your pleasure centers were when you were 15. And I think, like, yes, Hollywood's always done this, but the way that PR and information sharing has been monopolized by these tech platforms incentivizes the retreading of already existing properties.
And IP, that Rampage movie that came out, I couldn't believe, I hadn't seen it, but it's based on this Rampage video
played
game.
that in the arcade.
Right, yeah, it's this old game. It was one of the first games I remember playing on like Super Nintendo or something like that. And they just had the property, they owned it. So like, oh, I guess we'll just make a movie about that. Like the most uninspired way to make anything.
Like the whole studio,
Yeah.
first season of Studio was about. They were like,
I didn't see that.
Kool-Aid Man. They got the rights to Kool-Aid Man. And so they were like, we need a Kool-Aid Man movie.
If you are interacting with the same art you've always interacted with, the same music, the same, like, you are not opening your mind to trans people, to black people, to Middle Eastern people, whatever. And I think it's, you know, like the 80s movies, you look back and watch them, you're like, they're very fascist. I think this period of art is also has some of that.
Oh, God.
What?
Yeah, that was a bad era.
Like I told you, I rewatched Back to the Future for the first time since I was a kid. And I was like, what is going on? What is going on?
It's all just because there's so much streaming and there's just no way to get eyeballs unless it's something that feels familiar to you.
100%.
Appreciate the call.
Thank you.
Well, fortunately, I didn't know it was happening.
I didn't watch the movies.
And hopefully this...
You didn't watch the Harry Potter movies?
I read the books.
I think I saw some of them, but it was more like one of those things where I'm like, Saul, are you enjoying this?
I resented the movies because I liked my own imaginative impression of the world.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, some people need it spoon-fed through like film and visual medium, but other people like to use their brains, I guess.
Matt.
I did raise an eye when you said iconic shots from the Harry Potter movie.
You know, it's a really great movie.
Oh, Superman, shut up! I was emotionally unstable because Trump got reelected, and I thought Superman was amazing.
I needed somebody to save me. I needed to believe in superheroes.
It's kind of exactly what it was.
Calling from an 814 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Obligatory, is this me?
Yes, it is you.
Oh my goodness, I've been trying to get on for months. Let me get you off here. Hello. You can
we're
call
out
me
of time.
Fruity, and I'm
We gotta-
calling from Central Pennsylvania.
Who? I'm sorry. Who is this?
You can call me Fruity. I'm from Central Pennsylvania.
Fruity from Central Pennsylvania. What's on your mind, Fruity?
Oh, awesome. Well, hi to my friend who said they were listening, hoping I'd get on. You know who you are. I am calling to talk about the Moshannon Valley Processing Center, the ice facility that is in my county.
Okay.
On the off chance that anyone else in Clearfield County is listening, a reminder to email the commissioners so folks know what's going on. The Moshannon Valley Processing Center is a GEO Group contracted facility in Clearfield County. They work with ICE, and the contract for the facility's renewal is up for a vote this year. There's a bunch of folks locally from lots of different groups and organizations all over the place trying to bring a visibility to the fact that this concentration camp is here because, you know, they put it all the way in a super rural county for a reason, so that it's hard to get to, so that it's hard to resist, to spread the word.
And also it's a period of, it's a place where they can create jobs, and then it makes it much harder, like in the way that prisons are, constructed in very rural and poor areas as well. It's the same dynamic.
Yes, exactly. And so we've been trying to have some kind of way to have people have solidarity, whether they're in the county or not, with this effort. So I wanted to pump a few things, if you don't mind.
Sure.
The first one being, and let me pull up the description so that I don't mess
Let me ask you just a couple of questions first, if I could.
Oh, yes, of course.
Are you finding that the folks who have started to organize against the concentration camp or center or whatever they're calling it, are they like, is it transpartisan? Is it trans ideological? Or is it, mostly people that you normally, find or, you're organizing with on other issues?
It's interesting out here. It's a lot of, I'm not from here originally. There's a lot of, small town social dynamics that I don't really want to get into. But I've been really heartened that not only, at least with the folks I've been working with, are there establishment Democrats, there's people who've never voted, there's people who self-describe as communists and socialists, members of the DSA.
Nice.
And that sort of leads me, it's really nice to see. And, there are people that aren't super thrilled about that. That's their business. But there is like a large group of, we're calling ourselves the rural organizers, like the adjacent counties, trying to make connections with each other and work in a way that's a bit beyond the party line and more in what the policy issue is rather than the party we particularly ascribe to.
And have you gone on to the Discord at all? And
I was actually going to after this. Yes, I'm not a big Discord person, but I was meaning to. Yeah.
No, I think that's a good idea because look, it's unlikely you're going to find 20 people from your area on that Discord, but it's not unlikely that you will find one. And more often than not, that one person, if they're on our Discord, is someone who, is probably looking to do something, to get involved in an effort like that. So I would just say, before you give us like some destinations that we should plug, I want to encourage people, majoritydiscord.com, of course, it's free, but you can, set up a conversation about it and attract people from that area. And it's a great way for people to connect with, very like-minded and active people. So, all right. So where can people get involved if they want to?
Yes. So in particular, the effort that I wanted to really plug is being put on by two groups of folks, and I hope I get both the org names right. One is a group called Erie United in Erie, Pennsylvania, and the other is a group
Wait, I'm sorry, say it again. Say, what's the first one?
Erie United in Erie County.
Okay.
And then the other one is Frontline Dignity in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And they are organizing a walk from the, I believe, ERO office in Pittsburgh. It takes 8 days all the way to the Meshannon Valley Processing Center, kind of like the monks did from Texas to D.C.
Uh-huh.
They're, in the middle of all of the organizing, but they're asking folks who want to follow along, join along, get involved. You can find them at Frontline Dignity on Instagram, and I'm sure if you send them a message, if you want more info, if you're in the area, like I said, they're walking from Pittsburgh to Phillipsburg, which is quite a walk, and it's really cool. Particularly on the last day, we're hoping to get a group of people to meet them in Phillipsburg and welcome them after their nice long walk. I will be walking with them as well, and I can definitely, I know we're working on getting the official press write-up to everyone. I can join the Discord after this and drop it in there if you guys are okay with that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All right. So I got Erie County United on Instagram.
Yes.
Community group building an Erie that works for all of us. And then the other one was frontlinedignity.org, was it?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have both, and we'll put them in the YouTube and podcast description. And if you're anywhere in that area, get involved. And let's fight this thing.
All right. And then the last thing is that for folks who are in like the central Pennsylvania area, if you're not in Clearfield County, if you're in like Armstrong or Elk or Cambria or any of those, and you want to go find the Clearfield County commissioners and send them an email, as you mentioned, they're concerned about the jobs. And so we're asking people to send them a message saying something like, hey, if you renew this contract, I'm not going to come to the Clearfield County Fair next year. If you renew this contract, I'm not going to come to any of that stuff because I don't want to fund a county that's working to build a concentration camp or to maintain one. And I can put that in the Discord as well on the off chance that, you know, the 3 people out here in the sticks with me joining that email campaign. That's the best bet we have to get this place shut down is this vote. If this vote passes, it gets a lot harder. But this is the facility that they housed Kilmar Abrego Garcia in during that period when he was being illegally detained. It's half an hour from my house, and I want it to shut down. So anything anyone can do. Thank you all so much. I'll let you go. I really appreciate it. I'll join the Discord and drop stuff in there.
Good luck. Appreciate you sharing that with us, and keep up the good work. Folks, that's all the time we have for the phone call portion of our program today. I appreciate people holding and apologize. We left, of course, 25 people, maybe 30 people on hold. And we'll read 5 more IMs and get out of here. Amateur Spoon. As Jesus blessed me with his firm, holy words, I saw the sweat glisten off his abs, hardened by the days of carpentry. He brushed my face with his hands that just this morning had fed thousands, but now it was only my hunger he was concerned with satisfying. Pete Hegseth after that clip cut off. The gnome divorce proceedings will be interesting. Who will get to keep which half of the dog? Alex Biz. Jimmy Kimmel is more of a woman than Rob Schneider will ever be.
Their fixation on The View is amazing to me.
It really is fascinating.
I think that's a reference to the hot chick, but it is also interesting that he had that whole film where he was cross-dressing.
Well, that was Schneider's opening line was The View has a new lady.
Oh.
It's Jimmy Kimmel.
No, I got that. I got that.
Just making sure you didn't forget his opening
I
line to his set.
I mean, whoa.
Is let me get them hot real quick.
Oh,
with this
yeah.
one-liner.
Harumba City Rollers. Even the left behind Republican husbands are propagating unrealistic body standards for women. Is this a recession indicator? Fallopian tube. In this administration's never-ending quest to eliminate government bloat, Hegseth has enlisted the services of C students in Georgetown University's Creative Writing 101 class. It is AI that he is using.
It is 100% AI. It is so obvious.
You might not know that, but there's probably a 19-year-old staffer
Mm-hmm.
there who's just like hungover. Like, yeah, here's your fucking speech.
Every little flourish of like he looked across the windswept plains.
100%. Yes.
Lily Bloom Blossom. We did this for Europe the same way a guy buys his girlfriend an Xbox for her birthday.
And like hates the Xbox.
That's so funny.
Hogtown. The more I think about the Iran war, the more I think we shouldn't discount the fact that there's a broad coalition of people Trump listens to, that this works out for just fine. The tech bros get military contracts. The death merchants get more money. The oil execs who Trump promised to make money are making a ton of it. The permanent toll in the Strait of Hormuz suits a Texas oil baron just fine, actually. It's minoritarian, but I don't think Trump gives a shit about the average American paying for gas and food. I mean, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I will just point out, this is from Dominic Michael Trippi, who is, well, maybe I won't even cite that. But he says, new Lindsey Graham encouraging Trump to wind down the Iran war and facilitate peace efforts, which this is after he was seen at Disney World with a wand.
childless drunk at Disney World with a wand
I wouldn't worry about it.
in a full suit.
Leading warmonger having obvious mental breakdown at a children's amusement park.
Did you see what he posted after that? He posted a picture of him shooting clay pigeons. Just like a little
Sure,
demonstration
buddy.
of some masculinity.
Yeah. You holding the fairy wand
Well,
might have been a little bit tough.
I'll tell you
Yo,
what.
gun time.
There's something called the MOVE Index, which measures like bond volatility, and apparently, like if it gets above 140, everybody starts to panic, and that is like when you hear about like the bond market disciplining. And the bond market got very close to, or got above 140. The last time was, or very close to it, in April of 2025, which was close to Independence Day, if I remember correctly, right? It was April Fool's in 2025.
Oh, right.
Liberation Day?
Liberation Day, sorry. Not Independence Day. And then it got to about 137. And people get to like freaked out. I don't know what 140 is, but I mean, the last time that it's gone over it was basically COVID. In April of or February of 2020 or March 2023, I'm not exactly sure why then, was way up there, 161. And then of course the Great Recession. So it's a disciplinary factor, and one wonders, but who knows? All right, 2 more IMs. Osama Ballin. Matt, please don't slander Mr. Gnome. He doesn't like just big boobs. He likes big, ridiculous boobs. And the final IM of the day. Paul's Menace. It's always a good sign when a comedian says every other word. I assume you're talking about Schneider. And not... okay. Matt, Brian, Emma, good job today. Folks, see you tomorrow.
It might take all the strength I got to get to where I want, but I know somehow I'm gonna get there. I wasn't looking when I just got caught between the truth and the light bar. But finding out won't make me feel any better. Yeah.